All right, I'm not sure why nobody else is talking about the story as much as I think they should. Maybe there's a reason for that, but I saw this post come across my Twitter a couple of weeks ago. I thought I'd let the story run for a bit, do a bit of research over time, and see what happened. And to be honest, it pretty much died really quick. I didn't really hear anything after the initial post, but I thought I'd talk about it because it's actually quite an interesting topic, and thought I would kind of raise the flag, see if anybody actually else thinks this is an interesting story, or maybe it's a bunch of nothing. So anyways, let's get into it. All right. So the New York Post posted this this article on the 7th of April. So about a couple of weeks ago. It's the 24th of April here. So it's been a few weeks since this article came out. And it's about a secret, never before used CIA tool that helped find airmen down in Iran. And this is the scary part, but if your heart is beating, we will find you. So that's what we will talk about. So let me give you a bit of background story. So obviously we know about the Iran war that's currently happening with the US currently over there. Essentially what happened was there was a US Air Force F-15E airplane that was shot down. If you know anything about airplanes, awesome. I do not. But anyways, there's an aircraft that was flying over Iran that was shot down by an Iranian soldier using a shoulder missile launcher. There were two people in that plane, the pilot and a weapons colonel. The pilot both of them managed to eject themselves out of there and deployed their parachutes. The pilot got to safety. However, I don't know what happened, but the weapons colonel did not. He managed to somehow find himself in the middle of the Zagros Mountains, right? So it's like these mountains in a massive deserted area. So the Iranian soldiers found out exactly that's what was, one of the guys managed to not get to safety, and so they started hunting him down. As you can see here on my screen here, that's one of the wreckage from the planes that was shot down. The Iranian soldiers went to go find that weapons colonel in the mountains. He turned off his his GPS beacon to prevent them from being able to detect him. However, that also means his own allies would not be able to find him either. So he's, injured in the mountains, no beacon on, and with Iranian soldiers hunting him down. That's the situation. So Trump, the US president, managed to find out about the situation, and he approved a massive rescue mission essentially. So he sent a whole bunch of planes, including bombers, hundreds of soldiers, and enlisted the help of the Israeli intelligence forces to set up a temporary base in the desert to try to find this one guy. Right? So massive rescue mission. And he was in the situation room with the head of the CIA was there briefing him along the way in real time. And with Trump's approval, the army enabled a never before used tool called Ghost Murmur. That's what we're talking about today. What is Ghost Murmur? Ghost Murmur is a radar tool which is enhanced by AI that can help find a specific person, through their heartbeat. Okay, so not Face ID, not fingerprint recognition. It is their heartbeat, something that you can't control. It's your biological signal. And effectively, they turned this thing on. It managed to allegedly find this downed weapons colonel in a 40-mile radius. They rescued him. They bounced, and they got out of there. So great story. Wonderful ending. A human being is alive because of this tool. A husband has been reunited with his wife. Children have their father back. So fantastic story in that regard. But that is not where the story ends, right? Because there are implications to this tool. If what the New York Post here is reporting is accurate, right? This is a tool that can sift through all the noise, whether it's noise signal from animals, from minerals in the earth, from other human beings, tanks, airplanes, everything, to find one specific signal from a human being, what are the implications of that, right? That's the scary part. Because no tool was ever developed for one purpose and one purpose only. We will always find a way to use this tool in a different way, whether it's for good or whether it's for bad. And now we know, the public now knows, that the CIA, who like to monitor US citizens as well as keep a tab on their enemy, have a tool to be able to pinpoint specific people by their heartbeat. That is scary, right? That's quite dystopian, if I have to be honest. That's concerning. And not only that, because of how successful this mission is, they've actually started looking at outfitting this radar, this Ghost Murmur tool, into every F-35 aircraft in the US. So these airplanes will be able to fly over a country and pick up people's signal by their heartbeat. This is scary. This is scary stuff. But it's amazing that we can develop a tool like this, and it's amazing that it saved somebody. But it's scary because there's so many, unfortunately, bad possibilities that will come out of this. I want to add one more thing that's going... Now, you're going to go, wait, there's more? Yes, there is more. And this, this might be like a tinfoil hat theory. This could be absolutely nothing. But it's quite scary. So, as I alluded to initially, this post came on it was published April 7th by the New York Post. This mission happened, I think it was early April or late March. A month prior to this coming out, scientists from Rice University published a paper, so February 9th, 2026, about a month prior to us knowing, scientists published a paper about a tech that they've built that masks human heartbeats from radars finding them. Now, is that a coincidence? Like, is that not freaky? So they developed this tool, they call it MetaHeart, that essentially scrambles the noise that tools like Ghost Murmur would use to find your heartbeat. A month prior to us knowing that Ghost Murmur even exists. Now that is freaky. That is scary. Like, I don't know what else to call it. Like, there's so many questions that are coming out of this. There's so many things that come to mind. I'm getting more questions than I am getting answers. But I want to put this story out there because I want everybody to get involved in this discussion. I want people to understand that there's allegedly this tool that can find people by their heartbeat. And there's also a tool now that was developed before we knew about that tool that can mask people's heartbeats from these radars. And I want you guys to form your own opinions. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you guys think about this whole situation. It's crazy, but really interesting stuff. Yeah, and I'll post a link to both these articles in the videos below, in the description below. You can watch the video if you want. It's essentially just stroking themselves to this fantastic recovery mission, and then he walks over to Trump and starts stroking Trump off, and then he starts stroking himself and then strokes Trump off. But that's pretty much the gist of the video. But if you want to actually watch it, I'll post a link in the description below. You guys can have a look into it more. And if you guys find this actually quite interesting and you want me to do like a full-on deep dive story on this whole situation, please let me know in the comments below, and I will start creating this, a bit of like a documentary on the whole situation, going into all the nitty-gritty details around the technology and how it works. And yeah. Let me know what you guys think. But thank you very much for tuning in as always. Please think about liking, subscribe if you like this kind of content. It's my first time actually doing this like raw reaction thing before, so hopefully this went well. And if this video turns out to go well, I'll keep doing more of these raw reactions. So yeah, thank you very much. Take care wherever you are in the world, and as always, remember to be kind to each other.